Yo, where's the plan? Devon X got back, and it seems like somebody want to start a little beef. So, let me continue this beef. So this is an open letter to all the blind, focusing on the word blind, all the blind Apple haters, featuring nobody else than Mr. Quinn Peters. So let me take in Mr. Quinn Peters' video. So Mr. Quinn Peters decided to call me out. If you don't know about it yet, let me give you a little vibe.
Most of the Apple consumers don't do their research, right? They just want the latest iPhone. You know, the trend. Devon X. Yeah.
So we about to watch Mr. Quinn Peters' whole video, and I'll tell you every single reason why this video is utter rubbish.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Tech Reviews. This is Quinn Peters. Today I'm going to vent.
Alright, so today he's going to vent.
I'm going to show you all reasons why I don't go to Apple, why I don't support Apple, and why you all should deter from even buying anything Apple.
Alright, so he's going to give all the reasons why he deter from Apple and why he suggests that you all shouldn't buy an Apple product. So I guess you're expecting to see a very unbiased video, like giving actual facts and research on why you should choose, why something would be better for you other than Apple. So why you should choose an Android phone over an Apple device or Windows PC over a Mac. You kind of get the vibe, right? We continue the video.
Right, so it's been a long while and cause a confusion in the place, so let's make this go viral.
Long time here and cause a confusion now, boy. So we cause some now.
We always do, and at the same time, educate you all. So
education.
Stick around. Yeah, so I dislike Apple, right?
He dislike Apple. What a beautiful way to start an unbiased video, giving actual factual research on why you should choose an Android phone. Start with the line, I dislike Apple. Such legitness.
They are a slimy, misleading, lying company that have the...
Whoa! Whoa, chill out there, bro. Chill out. A slimy, misleading company. Slimy. The man says slimy, you know. Like a slithering company.
Best marketing, right? I've seen in my entire life, and I commend them for that. You see, they sell their products for a fortune, and people who buy them automatically disregard the specs and research because they...
Alright, so they sell the products for a fortune. I have it there. I agree with you on that. The product's not cheap at all by any means. Not cheap unless you're going for like a Mac Mini or like a mid-2012 MacBook in 2017, which I actually using right now at performing as my workhorse on mid-2012 MacBook Pro. Just keep that in mind. And also before we actually get into the video, keep in mind you're talking to somebody who passed through so many Android phones, probably more than you use. And let me start listing them all. OnePlus 1, OnePlus 2, OnePlus 3, LG G3, LG G4, Nexus 6P, Nexus 5, Nexus 4, OnePlus 3T. I didn't use a OnePlus 5 yet. What else? Like so much Android phones. And I probably could create an Android home screen setup with Nova Launcher and KWGT that will make your Samsung Note 8 TouchWiz stock home screen look like child's play. But let me not get into that. Let me just continue with the video.
You want to have the best technology or hardware out there, which makes no sense.
So wanting the best technology and hardware out there makes no sense. That's a valid point. You're spitting facts, horse. Way! Wow. Pure facts.
I like people who love to think, people who love to reason and contemplate.
Me too.
Things with me openly, right? But it seems like every time I talk to somebody who's in love with Apple, they sound like a console fanboy. You see?
Alright, so every time you talk to somebody who's in love with Apple, they sound like a console fanboy. So, I ain't gonna disagree with you. It have plenty of people who's blind followers of Apple. You know why? Because the partner have an Apple and the friend have an Apple and the one iMessage. Cool. But at the end of the day, it's their money. They're working for their money. They can buy whatever the hell they want. They could buy whatever phone they want. I working for my money. I have an iPhone 10. I was going to buy the Pixel 2 XL. I ended up buying the iPhone 10 because it was my money. I make my decision. I make my choice. Now, if you decide to buy an Android phone with your money, cool, that's what you want. If you decide to buy an iPhone 10, cool, that's what you want. I can't judge you for that. But let me continue again.
Apple openly tells their consumers about their devices, exactly what's under their hood, like the tablets, phones, and PCs, right? Now, they often tell people it's their new age technology and hardware, whereas that hardware has been in existence for at least 7 years.
All right, let me hold up there a little bit. So you telling me the A11 chip was existing for 7 years? You telling me it have, first of all, it have any mobile processor out there right now that could outperform the A11. And keep in mind, like I tell you, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I just use Apple right now because it's the best. It's just like the ecosystem is what works best for me as a graphic designer. I have so much Android phones. I could point at HTC One M8 right there, a Google Pixel right there. I use all these phones already, and it's just the ease of use, like I'm using them, but my daily driver is an iPhone 10 because of course, AirDrop. Can't deny AirDrop. AirDrop is the best thing in the world. Let me continue the video before I get off track again.
You find that weird? Alright, so I've done some research into the fan base, right? And
alright, you do some research into the fan base of Apple? How you do that, boy? How you do research into the fan base of Apple? I'd like to know that.
Realize that most of the Apple consumers don't do their research, right?
Alright, I agree with you there. Most of the Apple users do do their research. That's a 100% valid point. I don't disagree with you there.
Just want the latest iPhone.
Yeah, they just want the latest iPhone.
You know the trend. Devon X Scott.
Oh, Devon X Scott, that's what the trend, right? So let me talk about doing your research. So I do my research. I weigh my pros and cons between the Pixel 2 XL and the iPhone 10. And the market we have in Trinidad here right now, no resale value for the Pixel 2 XL. And I already have a Mac, for the AirPods. I have the whole ecosystem. I have the Apple Watch. Why not just get the iPhone 10? Because I already have everything. Other than sell the Apple Watch and buy a Huawei watch or something to go with the Pixel 2 XL. I do my research. I buy my iPhone 10. But you telling me you research. Alright, so as the Apple person, right, who didn't do their research. But you telling me you research all the phones that have out there in the world. And you settle on buying a Note 8. A Note 8 horse. Best you do a little more research.
Yeah. And then too, these phones slow down quickly.
Let me talk about slow down quickly. I remember when I opened the S8 from the box and I swipe it up, micro lags. You probably don't notice micro lags, but as a perfectionist, I notice everything. You using a Note 8 right now, you want to tell me about an iPhone slowing down? Never. Never. As much as an iPhone may slow down, the fluidity is always on point. Whether it's an Apple fanboy, whether it's an Android fanboy, you cannot disagree with that. The fluidity always on point. You use a S8 for 3 months, slow down. Use a Note 8 for 3 to 6 months, slow down. The only Android phone to date that will not slow down after time is a OnePlus device, a Google Pixel device, or any device that running pure stock Android. Anything with a skin, going to slow down. I'm promising you that, and I'm talking from experience. Like I say, I probably use way more phones than you use, and I'm very much experienced in using Android, and that's from my experience. Let me continue the video again. You having fun? You having fun riding up this commerce? I want to ride up the commerce too. Let me go. Let me continue.
I mean, really quickly because of software updates resulting of throttling of speeds.
Software updates resulting in throttling of speeds. Let me just say, you Note 8 don't need a software update to throttle these speeds because it very well knows to slow down. But let me talk about the battery shenanigans. So everybody know, Apple, with the latest update, they start throttling your CPU speeds to ensure that you get sort of the same experience that you're accustomed with. Which is, I mean, I do agree with it. It was very underhand that they didn't tell anybody about it. But at the end of the day, that's what happened. Plenty of people just do it, they don't even talk about it. And I have a problem with it, but I find what they should have done is give people the option to switch it on and off. You want the horrible battery life and the good performance, or a little balance of both. It was kind of underhand that they didn't tell anybody, so I kind of agree with you there.
For the reserve of battery life, right? So they make a ton of money over these inferior things.
Make a ton of money over these inferior things? Inferior things like what?
And that was the latest scandal with Apple with throttling their speeds too. So they was like, okay, we need to throttle your phones after our update and bring down the clock speed because the battery cannot handle that load over existing period of time.
Like I say, I agree with you. That's exactly what I do, and I do agree with it. I agree with you. It was a shitty move on Apple part. We all good there.
So there was like, you know, we want you all to appreciate having a phone longer than the battery exploding. Now, I don't really blame.
You just talk about Apple and battery exploding in the same sentence while you're shooting this on a Note 8. You forget what happened with the Note 7 or? Literal explosion. Literal. Imagine you're holding a Note 8 and then boom, it gone. That's exactly what happened with the Note 7. Don't even jump on Apple and battery and exploding in the same sentence when you're using a Note 8 Pro.
For that, because most companies does that, it's just that Apple got made out. And another thing, this is going on the Mac side, the computer side. Because of the
Alright, so we're jumping onto the computer side now.
closed architecture, the Mac OS has been childproof.
Alright, so due to the closed architecture of the Mac OS, it has been childproof. Let me hear what that means.
Meaning that you have limited options on how to fix it.
Limited options on how to fix it. You feel a Mac is a Windows computer would have slowed down after a while and you had to reinstall Windows and all of that? Because if you buy this is not even a fanboy thing, like trust me, ask anybody with a Mac. If you're using a Mac, you have zero problems. I'm not even being a fanboy. That's just the honest, harsh truth. You're using a MacBook, you're going to have zero problems. I promise you that. Unless it's a hardware fault from the actual factory, then you're going to be real good. If it's a hardware fault from the factory, Apple have you unless you're living in Trinidad. Hard luck for you if you're living in Trinidad. You'll send it back.
Another reason why I dislike Macs is because Macs aren't exactly designed for gaming.
Alright. If you was going to buy a Mac to game, you're doing it wrong, bro. If you're buying a Mac, you're buying it for productivity, you're buying it for the ecosystem, you're buying it for the apps that Mac have that's so perfectly optimized that Windows could never match. Exhibit A, Final Cut Pro. I'm sure it take you more to actually export this 6-minute video than I just take to export a 20-minute 4K video with multiple streams of footage.
The discrete graphic cards used in high-end Macs aren't all that great. And
I guess he's still on gaming.
Don't really have a choice of the more powerful graphic cards you would find in some Windows PCs. Actually, most, right? But the Mac Pro is an exemption, which comes with decent graphic cards inside, but it would cost you a lot more than a comparable Windows computer will.
I don't think you need to tell people if they want a game, buy a Windows PC, and if they want productivity, buy a Mac. That should be understood. But no problem if you're using Windows. I don't have a problem against Windows. I'm just saying you don't buy a Mac to game. Everybody know that.
Oh yeah, and since you're on the graphics cards, the graphics cards are also soldered in, right? They're soldered in, so there's no way to upgrade them a year or two down the line, even on desktops like iMacs or Mac Pro. Windows desktops are more upgradable, so that's...
Windows desktops are more upgradable. We know this. Facts.
That's why I prefer a Windows compared to a Mac.
You prefer a Windows compared to a Mac. Have plenty of people out there who would prefer a Mac over a Windows computer. Like myself, I have the mid-2012 MacBook Pro. As always be using a Surface Pro 4, which I prefer as my daily driver, my workhorse for my workflow, my preference. A Mac. Can't give back to somebody for preferring a Mac over a Windows PC. That's their preference, their money spent on it, and their experience with the ecosystem. If you prefer Windows, good for you. I'm just saying, enjoy spending like half an hour exporting this video while I export mine like 4 times over.
It's easy. And lastly, it's the way they sell their accessories, right? Apple tries really hard if you're trying to buy a mouse, a charger, a keyboard, etc., right? You have to buy it from them.
Firstly, no. Any Bluetooth mouse, any USB mouse, any Bluetooth keyboard, any USB keyboard will work with a MacBook Pro, a MacBook, an iMac, a MacBook Air. Everything running Mac OS is perfectly compatible with any normal mouse and keyboard. You remember that thing you say about doing research before? I think you should exercise it a little more.
You see, they really want your money. And they don't hide it at all, right?
I don't think you know business is workhorse. Every company in existence need to make money to survive. Everybody want your money. If you think somebody don't want your money, you're wrong.
Right? When it comes to other platforms like HTC, LG, Sony.
If you're talking about accessories for computers, you just call HTC and Sony.
Even Nokia. They share the same peripherals and accessories with the same port type to make it more accessible.
Well, firstly, they don't share it with the same port type to make it accessible. It's just the standard micro USB. Now the standard is USB-C. Apple have their own standard. All their devices use the same standard across the entire plethora of things that they offer. The iPad Lightning port, iPhone Lightning port, Apple Mouse Lightning port, Apple Trackpad Lightning port, everything is just the ecosystem. Again, and like I say, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it.
And convenient to the public. If you have an iPhone and your friend have an Android, when she forget home her charger, she cannot borrow yours.
Alright. So your argument here is if you have an iPhone and your friend have an Android and she need a little charge, I like how the one with the Android need the little charge, by the way. You can't use it, right? So let me ask you something. If you using a Nexus 5 and your friend using a OnePlus 3T, one is micro USB, one is USB-C, and one dead. Yeah, the same predicament. So why don't fight down the existence of the new standard that is USB-C, the same way you're fighting down Lightning? It's just a different standard. No need to fight it down. It's just facts.
You see, most of the Android use the same port and peripherals, so
most of the Android use the same port.
Android actually is more convenient than Apple.
Android is more convenient than Apple. Have you ever experienced the Mac? I think that's the end of the video. Have you ever experienced the entire Mac OS and iOS and Apple ecosystem is way more convenient? I could promise you that. And like one thing I have to give to all the blind Apple haters, before you start hating on an Apple device, because trust me, I used to be #1 Apple hater. Before you start hating on an Apple device, use it. And then when you start hating on it, you can hate on it with actual facts. You can have a reason why you're hating on it. You can say, I hate this Mac because of this fact, not because of this opinion, and then try to tell people they shouldn't buy a Mac because of your opinion. Let people think for themselves. Let them use it. Let them see whether they prefer it or not. For example, I prefer Mac. If I never use a Mac, I used to be the #1 Apple hater. Apple is shit. Apple doing this, Apple doing that. Android have all these features, so much more. But guess what? Apple just more convenient for me. My choice of operating system. So #1 thing is not just about Mac and Windows or anything. About anything in life, just think for yourself. Experience it for yourself. Don't just blindly hate or blindly support something. Like we keep saying, the era of brand loyalty is dead. Dead. Use something for yourself. Experience it yourself before you make a choice. Oh, they don't think I hate on Quinn or anything. We good. He called him out, so I just shine him up in this video. I hope all you enjoyed this video. I hope it give you kind of an insight on my thought process of why I use Apple and stuff. Like I say, it's just my preference. And I just invalidate your whole video, Quinn. Your whole video with pure facts. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.